Alrighty, video number 3, we're moving on. So we spoke about it to have the level, the spiritual level that is number 50, that they were at the lowest place, and that was the last thing that they didn't break, and if they would have broken it, they wouldn't have been able to be saved. And that spiritual level was the level of faith. And I want to speak about another thing that we know. Which means we were saved, or we got the redemption, we were redeemed out of Egypt thanks to the women, so the Talmud says. And it will be thanks to the women that we will be saved again. And so we're saying about it that this is, maybe that's our power. Maybe the only thing that we were able to hold on, the only thing that the Jews had when they were in Egypt, the only thing that they were able to keep was their faith. And we're told that the only ones that had the special value, thanks to we were saved, were the women. Which means the women were the ones that were in charge of the faith. They are the ones that were in charge of the faith. And we will be the ones that we will be the ones responsible also for the next redemption. So this is the same strength that we had back then, that saved the entire nation, that we need to keep right now. That is the thing that we need to save. Even if it's hard for us to fulfill every single mitzvah out of those 613 mitzvot, the one thing that is most important is our faith. And that is the thing that we have to hold on to as strong as possible. It is said that when Mashiach comes, the days before Mashiach are going to be crazy, crazy days. They're going to be days of chosar behirut, of inclarity. When things are not clear, when you look at the world and it seems confusing and you don't know what's good and what's bad, and you don't know where it's left and where it's right, and you don't know what's the right way and what's the wrong way, and you don't know. Everything is unclear. Is there a Hashem even? So this should not be a question. We should hold on to our faith. It says that during these times it's going to be like people holding on to a rope. Like imagine a big thick rope, and there are countless people holding on to the rope, and then when Mashiach comes, they're going to shake the rope. They're going to shake it hard. And only whoever holds on to the rope will be the one to reach the end. Only if you hold on to your faith, even when you're being shaken, even when reality is crazy, even when things seem unclear, only then, eventually, Be'ezrat Hashem, we will reach the end. And we will be there, standing at the end point, looking back and saying, wow, that was crazy. These things we went through, they're unimaginable. It was a confusing time, it was a confusing age, and our kids were confused and our families were confused, but we held on to them, and we kept our families together, and we kept our families full of faith in this crazy, crazy, confusing time. And that is what we need to do. That is our responsibility. And that's what it says. It says that there's a very interesting story about Miriam, because there are many feminine figures or female figures in the Bible that are just amazing. But you can't ignore that one of the most significant ones is Miriam, the sister of Moses, the sister of Moshe. She was a prophet, and she was an amazing, amazing woman. And if we're talking about how, what was the power of women at the time, I think she is a very, very good example of the power of faith. We're going to start, but we're not going to finish it in this video, but we're going to start. Miriam was Moshe's older sister. And when she was little, I don't remember the exact age, but she was young. Like she wasn't 12 even. She was young. And her parents decided to split up. Why? Because she was alive, and she had a brother, Aharon, and Moshe wasn't born yet. And then Paro came with the announcement that from now on they're going to throw all the boy babies, all the male babies into the river, into the Nile, into the river, and kill them. And Amram was the leader of the Jewish nation at the time. Amram, Moshe's father, was the leader of the nation when they were in Egypt. And he decided to divorce his wife because he said, what's the point of us being married? What's the point of us having kids? And then Paro is going to throw them into the Nile. Why do I need to get my wife pregnant, go through the entire pregnancy, the delivery, have a baby, and then Paro is going to kill it? What's the point? I don't want to do it anymore. And he divorced his wife. And because he was the leader of the entire nation, everyone followed him. And they all divorced their wives. And then his daughter, Miriam, who was little, she went to him and she told him, you know what, Abba? You're worse than Paro. And that's that's like really harsh. And he asked her, why? Why are you saying such a thing about me? And she said, what you're doing is worse than what Paro does for 3 reasons. He said, first of all, Paro said only to throw the boys. But you divorcing your wife, you mean, and all these men following you and divorcing their wives, it means not only we're not going to have boys, we're also not going to have girls. That's the first reason. Second reason is, what you say, Paro is a wicked man. And he can have all sorts of ideas, but you don't know what's going to happen eventually. You don't know if Hashem is going to save these babies. Just because that's what he decided, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen eventually. But you're a tzaddik. You're a holy person, and whatever you say happens. So if you say from now on, all men are going to divorce their wives and there will be no babies, it actually will happen. So that's the second reason. The third reason, she said, when Paro is killing those babies, he's only killing their bodies, but their souls will forever last, and they will go to heaven. But on the other hand, if you don't bring those babies to the world, but you don't even give them the chance, they're just going to be stuck there, and they're going to lose this world and the afterworld. They're not going to go to heaven. So that's why what you're saying is even worse. And because of what she said, he changed his mind, and he remarried his wife. And then, Yocheved. And then all the other men of the Jewish nation followed his lead, and they again married their wives. There is so much more to learn about that, so I'm going to stop here and we're going to make another video. Have a good evening. Bye.